truly makes a career fulfilling. I mean, really fulfilling. It's a question that it just echoes, doesn't it, for all of us. From those first steps, out of school maybe, to those moments mid-career where you stop and just wonder.
Is this it?
Yeah. Is this really it? Or is there something more? Do we chase that burning passion, that thing that just lights you up?
The thing everyone tells you to follow.
Right. Or do we take a different path, more pragmatic, building expertise, brick by brick, skill by skill, and hope satisfaction kind of grows from that.
It's a fundamental tension, isn't it? And honestly, it trips up so many people. We're searching for purpose, for meaning in what we do every day.
And the advice is everywhere. Follow your passion.
Exactly. But what if that passion isn't obvious? Or maybe worse, what if it just doesn't seem like a viable career, something that pays the bills?
Or the opposite happens. You see people who are just brilliant, technically amazing, incredible skills.
Top of their field.
Totally. But they're just uninspired. There's a huge disconnect between them and their work.
Yeah, that feeling of emptiness despite success. It's real.
And these aren't just like academic debates. These are the real dilemmas we face. So today we're doing a deep dive. We're looking at two titans of career thinking.
Pitting them against each other almost.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
On one side, you've got Simon Sinek famously telling us to start with why.
Purpose first.
Purpose, belief, meaning. That's the foundation, he argues. Without that clear why, even if you're incredibly skilled, your work can feel hollow, empty.
And then the counter-argument, Cal Newport, he comes at it from a completely different angle in So Good They Can't Ignore You.
Much more pragmatic.
Very pragmatic. He basically says that follow your passion advice. It's not just unhelpful, it can actually be dangerous. Bad advice, even.
Really? Dangerous? How so?
Because, he argues, real job satisfaction, maybe even that passion we're chasing, it often comes after you've built up rare and valuable skills.
Okay. So skills first, passion follows.
Exactly. He calls it career capital.
Yeah.
You build this capital, these hard-to-copy skills, and that gives you the leverage, the control to eventually shape your work into something you love.
Okay, two very different starting points. Purpose first versus skills first. And you've pulled together a fantastic stack of sources for us today. Business strategy, psychology, personal development. It's all in there.
Yeah, a real mix to help us unpack this.
So our mission today isn't just to summarize Sinek and Newport. We want to really peel back the layers, see where these powerful ideas might clash.
Or where they might actually complement each other, maybe even merge.
Exactly. How can you, listening, use these insights to shape a career that really resonates? That's the goal. So yeah, get ready for maybe some aha moments as we navigate this.
Should be fascinating.
Okay, let's start with why. It feels like the natural place to begin because it taps into something so human, the search for meaning.
Right. Sinek's core argument, it's actually quite simple on the surface, but it's profound. He says understanding your fundamental why, like your purpose, your cause, your core belief, that's the absolute most crucial starting point.
For anything, really. Personal life, professional life.
Absolutely. It gives you direction, a reason for being. It's the meaning that guides everything else.
And what's kind of revolutionary, like you said, is how it flips the usual script. Most people, most companies, they start with what they do.
Our product is X, our service is Y.
Or maybe how they do it. Our process is better, we're faster, cheaper.
Our unique selling proposition.
Right. But Sinek insists, no, you got to start with why. Why does this even matter? What's the core belief driving this whole thing?
What's the vision? What impact do you want to make? And that deep internal why, he says, that's your North Star. It's what makes you distinct, not just by what you offer, but why you're offering it.
I love that compass analogy he uses. It's so good. Imagine, like, setting sail on a ship. You've got the best ship imaginable. That's your skills, your expertise, amazing crew, top-notch navigation tools.
Yeah.
But you don't know where you're going. Or more importantly, why you're even making the journey.
You're just sailing.
Exactly. Your compass, your internal why, isn't set. So even with all that amazing capability, you're just drifting. Your efforts, however skillful, they become aimless. And ultimately, that feels deeply unsatisfying, right? It's not just about being inefficient. It's about lacking existential direction.
And that drifting, that aimlessness, That's precisely what Sinek is trying to fight against with Start With Why. It's about preventing that feeling. Stephen R. Covey talked about the emptiness of success without meaning.
Ah, Covey. Yeah, he wrote about that so powerfully.
He really did. He described people achieving, incredible degrees of outward success, hitting every goal, making tons of money, tremendous professional success,
Got the corner office, the big title, everything.
everything.
Yeah.
But inside, they're left with this inner hunger, a deep need for personal congruency and effectiveness. They climb the ladder, get to the top, and then look around and ask,
Is this worth it?
exactly. Especially if achieving it cost me my personal and family life. It's a really sobering thought, isn't it? You can win the whole game, but lose yourself along the way.
Oh, completely. It's like polishing trophies in an empty room.
Yeah.
And Covey really nailed this with his distinction between the character ethic and the personality ethic.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, the personality ethic is all the surface stuff. Social techniques, trying to be charming, positive thinking as a tactic, projecting an image of success. It's fleeting.
Okay, the outward appearance.
Right. But the character ethic, that's about who you fundamentally are, your core values, your integrity, your principles. That's where lasting self-respect comes from, Covey argued, and effective relationships built on trust.
So it's inside out, not outside in.
Precisely. That inside-out congruence he talks about. It aligns perfectly with Sinek's Start With Why. Your deepest values, your why, should be guiding your daily actions, your habits, not just putting on a performance or trying to fit some external mold.
And the really deep insight there is that true fulfillment isn't about looking successful. It's about being congruent. You can perfect your techniques, your skills. But if your why, your core purpose, isn't aligned, it creates this internal dissonance.
Yeah, like a background hum of discomfort.
Exactly. And that dissonance, Covey warned, can undermine even the most amazing external success. It leaves that inner hunger. It's like the ultimate failure of fake it till you make it, because eventually the fake just feels fake. Even to you.
So for you listening, it really makes you think, doesn't it? If someone at the absolute peak of their career can feel that emptiness, how much more important is it for us in our everyday work to constantly check in? Are my daily tasks, my hows, actually serving a deeper why? Or am I just, hitting targets, fulfilling someone else's definition of success?
It's a crucial check-in. And this why, it's not just about individual fulfillment. It has huge implications for organizations, too. A deep sense of purpose can motivate people way beyond just a paycheck.
You see that again and again.
Think about that story Dale Carnegie told, the elderly lady giving away her treasured Packard car.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Heartbreaking almost.
It is. She wasn't after money. She didn't want a newer car. She was, as Carnegie put it, starving for a little recognition, just a little human warmth, a little genuine appreciation. Her why wasn't material gain, it was connection, feeling valued. That intrinsic human need totally outweighed the financial transaction.
And you see that drive for something more than just money and big figures, too. Look at Elon Musk.
Okay, controversial figure, but relevant here.
Right. Even when Tesla and SpaceX were struggling early on, his talk, it often sounded straight out of the techno-utopian playbook. He was driven by this huge vision of world-saving companies.
A very strong why.
Exactly. And then later, his reported disillusionment with Silicon Valley's constant focus on just funding IPOs and chasing big paydays, it reinforces that search for something deeper, a bigger why than just the money. It's fascinating that even someone with that level of success can feel that pull towards purpose over profit.
It shows that the why matters at every level. And what happens when that why, that internal compass, isn't just ignored, but actively violated?
Things can break down fast.
For sure. Ayn Rand explored this dramatically in Atlas Shrugged. There's the character, the brilliant physicist Daniels. He just quits, walks away from his vital work.
Why?
Because, as he puts it, he won't give anything produced by his mind to a world that regards him as a slave. His why, his belief in intellectual autonomy, the value of his own mind was being fundamentally compromised. The misalignment made his highly skilled work unbearable. He chose his principles over his profession.
That's a powerful, if extreme, example of choosing why over how. And this principle, it's not just for individuals or fictional characters, it's key for companies that last.
Absolutely. Jim Collins and Jerry Porras, in their Built to Last research, found this was the fundamental distinguishing characteristic of truly visionary companies.
What was it?
They preserve a cherished core ideology. That means their timeless core values and enduring core purpose. their why. While they constantly adapt everything else, strategies, practices, goals, that core why, Collins and Porras argue, should never change. It's the anchor.
The thing that lets them innovate and change without losing who they are.
Precisely. It gives them resilience, a distinct culture, long-term direction. Think about Howard Schultz at Starbucks.
Okay.
He really demonstrated an organizational why, focused on values and the contributions we have made to communities. They gave money to local arts groups, AIDS organizations, food banks, schools. They even gave away old coffee beans to community groups.
Trying to be more than just a coffee shop.
Exactly. Schultz recognized if we ever let our sense of being hometown merchants slip too far, we run the risk of damaging what we think is a unique relationship with our customers. So that purpose, that community connection, it wasn't just a nice to have. It was core to their brand. Customer loyalty, employee morale. Good business, driven by why.
And the really hopeful part of this start with why idea is that your why isn't necessarily fixed from birth. It can evolve. You can discover it, refine it.
Or even radically change it, re-script it, as Covey would say.
Right. Covey tells that amazing story about Anwar Sadat, the former president of Egypt.
A truly profound transformation.
He completely re-scripted himself. He transformed these deeply ingrained beliefs, like his intense hatred for Israel, formed over years to align with a totally new paradigm, peacemaking.
How did he even do that?
According to Covey, it happened during years of solitary confinement. Through deep meditation, Sadat learned to, quote, vacate his own mind, step outside his own conditioning, and literally rewrite his inner scripts. He consciously chose a new why for himself and his nation.
Wow. That's incredible.
Right.
It shows the sheer power of redefining your purpose. His internal shift, born from deep introspection and commitment to a higher goal, led to the Camp David Accords. Monumental external change driven by an internal rescripting of why.
It really proves that your past doesn't have to dictate your future, if you can connect with and redefine your core purpose.
A testament to conscious creation of meaning.
Okay, so we've really explored the depth and, frankly, the appeal of Start With Why. Purpose, passion, meaning as the driving force. It makes a strong case for looking inward first.
It really does. It resonates on a deep level.
What if that's not the whole story? What if follow your passion isn't always the best advice or even possible for everyone?
Right. And this is where Cal Newport comes in, offering a very different, very pragmatic perspective. It really challenges that conventional wisdom.
He argues passion isn't the starting point, but maybe the end point.
Pretty much. He suggests passion is often a result of mastery, not a prerequisite for it. People grow to love what they become genuinely good at, especially when getting good at it gives them more autonomy, more impact, that feeling of competence.
So you don't find your passion, you build it.
That's the core idea. Build career capital, that's his term. Develop rare and valuable skills, things that are hard for others to copy, and those skills give you leverage, control, a sense of mastery, and that eventually leads to job satisfaction and maybe even what feels like purpose or passion.
Okay, so it's less about waiting for inspiration and more about earning your way, taking a craftsman-like approach.
Exactly. Build something tangible, something valuable to the market, and the good feelings, the passion might follow. It's proactive, not passive.
How do you build those kinds of skills, though, those rare, valuable, hard-to-mimic ones?
Well, it requires strategic effort. Hamilton Helmer, in his 7 Powers framework, talks about process power.
Process power.
He points out that improvements that can be readily mimicked are not strategic. Anyone can copy a simple trick. True process power, the kind that gives you a lasting advantage, comes from an unyielding, long-time constant for the improvements in question.
So, deep, sustained mastery. Not quick fixes.
Exactly. It's about consistent long-term refinement that makes your skills incredibly hard for others to replicate. Think about, say, Toyota's production system. Even when they shared it with GM, GM found it almost impossible to truly copy because it was so deeply embedded in Toyota's culture and decades of process power. It wasn't just a manual.
Right. It takes years, maybe decades, to build that kind of deep capability. It's not just learning a technique.
And to achieve that kind of sustained, deep skill building, Newport introduces another critical concept, deep work.
Ah, yes. Deep work. Avoiding distraction.
Totally. He observes that truly influential individuals, the ones really making breakthroughs, they practice deep work intensely. Meanwhile, most modern knowledge workers, well, we struggle. Our attention is constantly fragmented.
Emails, social media, news alerts, the constant buzz.
Exactly. Those network tools, as Newport calls them, they shatter the focused, uninterrupted concentration you need to grapple with complex problems and build complex, valuable skills. If your brain is always switching tasks, how can you ever get truly excellent at something demanding?
You just stay on the surface.
Precisely. Deep work is about dedicating yourself, without distraction, to cognitively demanding tasks. Getting into that state of high concentration, that's the engine that builds career capital. It lets you learn fast, produce high-quality output, master difficult things.
And without it,
Your attention is scattered, you only achieve shallow engagement. And shallow work, by definition, doesn't build rare and valuable skills. I remember seeing a McKinsey study, maybe from around 2012. It found the average knowledge worker spent something like 60% of their week just on electronic communication and web searching, nearly 30% on email alone.
wow, that leaves very little time for actual deep thinking.
Very little. So Newport's argument is strong. You need to carve out time for deep work to build the skills that give you career capital.
Okay, so if we buy into this pragmatic path, build career capital through deep work, what are the practical steps? It can't just be work harder. Like lots of people work hard and feel stuck.
No, absolutely not harder. It's about working smarter, more strategically. Peter Drucker, the management guru, had great advice here.
What did Drucker say?
He advised effective executives to really focus on jobs they'll do especially well. Don't try to be good at everything, he said. Exploit opportunities, not solve problems. And critically, match your best people with the best opportunities.
So leverage your strengths.
Real-
Don't get bogged down in fixing weaknesses.
Exactly. It's strategic allocation. Put your best resources, your time, your energy, your best skills where they can have the biggest, most unique impact. Double down on your superpowers.
That makes intuitive sense, but
Yeah.
I mean, how do you really know your strengths and weaknesses objectively? It's hard to see ourselves clearly.
It is, and Ray Dalio pushes this even further. He's relentless about objective self-assessment. He urges us to see themselves and others objectively, really understand your strengths and weaknesses, even the uncomfortable truths.
Get real with yourself.
Totally. He even says, provocatively, you should be willing to fire yourself as the worker if you're not doing a specific task well.
Fire yourself.
Yeah, and get a good replacement while you stay in the role of the designer manager of your own life. It's radical, but it's pure pragmatic skill management. If you're not the best person for the job within your own life enterprise, find someone or something that is so the job gets done right.
Wow. Treating your own life like a business you manage, that requires some serious detachment and objectivity. You become your own CEO and talent scout.
Exactly. Are you deploying your resources, your skills, your time optimally? Or are ego and attachment getting in the way?
That's a tough question to ask, honestly.
It is. And another huge piece of this pragmatic path is just relentless learning and adaptation, often through direct, hands-on experience. Look at Sam Walton, the Walmart founder.
Okay, what about him?
He didn't just sit in an office theorizing. He was running all over the country, studying the concept from the mill stores in the East to California. He'd literally just show up at competitors' headquarters, walk around their stores, and ask lots of questions about pricing and distribution.
Just walk in and ask. No MBA case studies.
Just boots on the ground learning. That relentless hands-on curiosity was how he built his incredible retail skills. He famously said something like, a store owner who closes his store just because he hears competition's coming is somebody who must know he's not doing much of a job.
Implying that if you have the skills, you welcome the competition.
Right. It underscores the importance of competitive skill, continuous improvement, and the confidence that comes from genuine mastery. Don't be afraid to look uninformed, ask the basic questions, observe reality directly.
That's a great example of skill building through action, not just theory. And, we hear these stories about passion driving startups, but often the big successes come from nailing the skills first. Take Slack.
Good example, explosive growth.
But it wasn't born from some burning passion for chat apps initially, was it? Hoffman and Yeg describe how Slack's hypergrowth came after it had a killer product, a clear and sizable market, and a robust distribution channel.
The fundamentals were in place.
Right. The success was built on the skills to create a product so good that users themselves would drive user growth. The passion for the company probably ramped up after the skill-driven product proved itself.
Absolutely. It was about engineering, design, understanding user needs, iterating core skills. Or think about Microsoft under Satya Nadella needing to pivot to the cloud.
A huge strategic shift.
Massive. Their fledgling cloud business had to move faster to the cloud to even try and catch up with Amazon's lead. This wasn't initially about some deep, intrinsic passion for cloud infrastructure across the company. It was a brutal business imperative. They had to develop critical new skills and capabilities to stay competitive. Market reality forced skill acquisition.
And success in building those cloud skills then likely created its own sense of purpose and momentum within Microsoft.
Exactly. Success breeds investment, which breeds more success, and maybe even passion.
This pragmatic, skill-focused path also seems to demand a high degree of self-awareness about our own thinking traps, right? Our cognitive biases.
Oh, hugely important. You need to guard against fooling yourself. Burton Malkiel, in A Random Walk Down Wall Street, warns about hindsight bias.
The I knew it all along effect.
Precisely. We tend to remember our successful investments or decisions and think, yeah, that was my skill, while conveniently blaming external factors or bad luck for our failures. This applies directly to careers. Did you succeed because you followed your passion from day one? Or did you get a bit lucky, work hard, develop skills, then look back and construct a passion narrative?
It's easy to rewrite history in our favor.
Very easy. And Daniel Kahneman adds another layer with framing effects. He showed how most of us passively accept decision problems as they are framed.
Meaning how the choice is presented influences our decision, even if the underlying facts are the same.
Exactly. So if you're going to objectively assess your skills, your market value, or choose a career path based on Newport's ideas, you need active critical thinking. You can't just be swayed by how a job is described exciting opportunity. You need to look past the frame at the actual skills required, the day-to-day reality, the market demand.
Don't just accept the label. Analyze the contents.
That's a good way to put it. You need to actively fight your brain's tendency to take the easy path and accept the frame presented.
Okay. So we had through two powerful frameworks. Sinek. Start with one. Why? Find your purpose. Let that guide you. Deeply appealing speaks to our core.
The intrinsic drive.
And Newport. Get so good they can't ignore you, build rare skills, gain career capital, let passion emerge from competence and control. Very pragmatic, action-oriented.
The extrinsic validation leading to internal satisfaction, perhaps?
So the big question is it really either do we have to choose, or can these two ideas somehow work together? Can purpose and pragmatism coexist?
That really is the crucial question for anyone trying to build a fulfilling career. And I think, yes, absolutely they can coexist. More than that, they can enrich each other. It's not necessarily sequential either.
How do you mean?
Well, think about it. A nascent why, even a vague sense of purpose or a cause you care about, that can absolutely provide the fuel, the motivation to push through the hard work of developing difficult how skills. You're driven by something bigger than just the task itself.
So the why fuels the how.
Right, but it can work the other way too, and this is where Newport's idea gets really interesting in combination. Mastering a skill, getting really truly good at something, can unexpectedly reveal a deep passion or purpose you never saw coming.
Like you start doing something for practical reasons, get good at it, and then realize, wow, I actually love this.
Exactly. You start to love the process, the challenge, the impact your skill has, and suddenly a why emerges from the how. It wasn't there at the start, but mastery created it. It becomes this dynamic feedback loop.
Purpose fuels skill acquisition, and skill mastery can ignite or clarify purpose. That's a much more integrated picture.
It is. And Scott Galloway's analysis of Apple's success kind of hints at this synergy. He talked about Apple moving from the brain to the heart and genitals.
Okay, unpack that slightly less vividly, maybe.
Well, his point was Apple engaged both the rational, skill-based side. Their machines using Intel chips were objectively faster and cheaper, very brain-focused, and the deep emotional side. The Macintosh's attractive icons, the friendly interface, its appeal to artists, creatives. That's the heart.
Tapping into identity and feeling, not just specs.
Exactly. So true fulfillment, whether for a company connecting with customers or for you in your career, might lie in integrating both. The rational competence of skills, the brain, and the emotional resonance of purpose, the heart. Just being technically good isn't enough. You need to connect on a deeper level, maybe even with yourself.
So how do we actually do that? How do we integrate purpose and pragmatism in our work?
Well, one perspective comes from Theodore Levitt's classic marketing myopia. He argued businesses fail when they get stuck in a tight product orientation, just focusing on the thing they make.
Instead of why people buy it.
Precisely. He said they must think of itself as taking care of customer needs. That means even your most technical skills, your brilliant how, must ultimately serve a fundamental purpose, solving a problem or meeting a need for someone else. Your why becomes customer-centric.
So the skills gain market value because they address someone else's why.
Exactly. Levitt called for a tightly integrated effort to discover, create, arouse, and satisfy customer needs. That inherently connects the how, creating skill, with the why, customer needs, purpose.
That makes sense. Skills need direction to be valuable.
Yeah.
And Stephen Covey brings this back to the individual level too, right? With communication.
He does. He calls seek first to understand, then to be understood, maybe the most important skill in life. That's a how empathic listening.
Wow.
But he stresses this skill only works if it's built on a base of character that inspires openness and trust.
Back to the character ethic.
Exactly. The skill of listening, the how, is only truly effective if it's grounded in genuine intent, integrity, a sincere desire to understand the why. You can learn the techniques, but if your purpose isn't sincere, people sense it. The skill needs a principled foundation.
So integrity isn't just a soft skill. It's the bedrock that makes technical skills truly effective. And you can even see this interplay way back historically. Look at Benjamin Franklin.
Okay, Franklin, how does he fit?
Well, his autobiography shows him as incredibly driven by skill acquisition from childhood. Fond of reading, a thirst for knowledge. That's the how, the drive for competence.
Building his intellectual capital.
Right. But crucially, he was also deeply influenced early on by works like Cotton Mather's Essays to Do Good. He said, this reading perhaps gave me a turn of thinking that had an influence on some of the principal future events of my life.
So a guiding purpose emerged early too.
Yeah, that combination, the relentless learning, guided by this turn of thinking towards benevolence, towards doing good, why, shaped his entire life and impact. His skills were always directed by a larger purpose of societal improvement.
It's that blend again. Insatiable curiosity married to an ethical compass. That seems to be a powerful formula. But actually managing this integration day to day isn't always simple.
No, it sounds complex. How do teams or individuals navigate it?
The book, The Discipline of Teams, offers a useful idea. It talks about striving for integration rather than compromise when using different approaches, like single leader versus team-based work. I think that applies here too. Don't compromise your why for your how, or vice versa. Integrate them.
How? What should the focus be?
Their key point is focus on outcomes, not activities. Don't just be busy developing skills for their own sake or pursuing a passion without tangible results. Ask, what outcome are we trying to achieve and why does it matter? That keeps the how, activity skills, directly connected to the why, purposeful outcome.
That distinction is vital. It's so easy to get lost in the busy work, mastering tasks that don't actually move the needle towards your real goal, your why.
Exactly. And what bridges this gap? What helps you constantly check that alignment between your skills and your purpose?
Self-awareness.
Bingo! Daniel Goleman highlights self-awareness as a critical leadership competency, part of emotional intelligence. He notes that self-aware people understand their own values, drives, strengths, weaknesses.
Which helps them understand their why.
Right, and because they understand themselves, they are well-suited to do the same for the organizations they run. Self-awareness is the crucial link. It helps you know your unique why and then strategically choose which skills, how, to develop and deploy to best serve that purpose. It's the internal compass guiding the tool selection.
Knowing your internal landscape lets you navigate the external one more effectively. Make choices that feel truly aligned.
And that brings us back to Ray Dalio's idea of being your own designer manager, that constant objective assessment. Are my skills currently serving my purpose? Do I need new skills? Do I need to adjust my purpose? That ongoing reflection and adaptation is the lifelong bridge between why and how.
Constantly calibrating your path as you learn and grow.
It suggests that the most fulfilling career isn't just a passion project, nor is it just skillful execution without meaning. It's the blend, the dynamic dance between what drives you and the competence you build to make it real.
Exactly. So, wrapping this deep dive up, we've explored two really powerful, maybe seemingly opposite philosophies. Simon Sinek start with why, that profound call for purpose, meaning a core ideology to ensure our work has significance.
Preventing that hollow success.
And Cal Newport's so good they can't ignore you, the pragmatic path.
Yeah.
Master skills, build career capital, gain autonomy, and create work you love through competence and control.
Earning your way there through intentional effort.
And maybe the biggest takeaway for you listening is that the most impactful path isn't choosing one side.
Yeah.
It's probably a dynamic integration. a continuous, maybe lifelong process.
Yeah, discovering what truly resonates as your why, while also relentlessly honing the how, the skills that give you the power, the leverage to bring that why into the world.
And maybe even discovering new whys as your skills open new doors.
Absolutely. It's an ongoing journey.
So we'll leave you with this thought to chew on. When does your why, your purpose, become so compelling, so clear and urgent that mastering the how, getting really good at the necessary skills, feels almost inevitable, like you have to learn it?
And conversely, at what point does mastering the how, becoming truly excellent at something, maybe something unexpected, actually unlock a why, a deep sense of purpose, or maybe just profound joy in the work itself that you never even knew you possessed? What will your unique integration look like?